Good morning, boys and girls, and thank you very much for being here. This is your old buddy Don with Adventures of the Broken Retired. Myself and my reckless remote Elmer will tell you a little story today, give you something to think about, give you something to do, and hopefully you're entertained. That's the whole part. The whole part is to be entertained. Now, I was in here. I was MIA on you yesterday. Uh, Still fighting with the technology thing. It's an ongoing battle. I did figure out something very important this morning. I have the problem of running out of storage in the phone halfway through a video. So I record a video, 9 or 10 minutes or whatever of time on the video, and then all of a sudden the camera stops and the phone says, "You don't have enough storage." And I've wrestled with it and wrestled with it, and I found something a couple of days ago that where I was able to clear that up. Hopefully, it doesn't happen today. Where I was able to clear up that problem, and it just to kind of show you, how technology weak I am, technically weak I am. It just occurred to me today that what I could do is, instead of waiting for the camera to cut out and then trying to figure out why it did it, I went in and checked to see how much storage space I had before I turned the camera on. Now, in my world, that's simply a stroke of genius. Anybody else's world, it's like, yeah, idiot, no kidding. I do that every time I record. Um, hey, what can I say, Anyhow, I had some downtime yesterday waiting for, you got to wait for things to sync and you got to wait for things to charge and all that kind of stuff. So it occurred to me while I was sitting here yesterday in this disastrous mess that my office is. Amy has Amy has tried to keep the place clean, but I got so much stuff everywhere that it's been difficult for her. And I think finally what she did was actually not. I know because she came and told me, "You get all this stuff off of here, and I'll clean it." Sure, I will. That was about 2 years ago, and his stuff is still sitting right where it was. But it occurred to me yesterday. I retired August 1st. Um, I tell you, I'm not sure how I ever had time to actually go to work. I carved it out of somewhere, but everything else in my life that needed to be done has been put off because I had to work. I was self-employed, and I don't get paid. I didn't have the last couple of years. I haven't had crews working for me. So I've been having to do all the work myself and keep up with all the office stuff myself and take care of everything. Of course, I've got a money guy that takes care of all of that for me, taxes and all of that. I will tell you one thing about being in business for yourself. If you don't have an incredibly good tax guy, which I am extremely fortunate that I have an incredibly good tax guy, um, if you don't have one, you're operating on a ragged edge because some of the stuff that comes up, some of the stuff that happens, some of the letters I got in the mail, some of the checks I got in the mail, were all handled or done by him. And if I got a check in the mail, and sometimes the checks would be a few bucks, uh, I would send him an email. Hey, what do I do with this? And he would tell me what it's for and how I got it and all that kind of stuff. And if I got letters, letters, because they don't send you emails. If I got letters from the IRS, I would automatically forward them to him and he would take care of it. And I remember getting one letter a few years ago. I don't remember how long ago it was now. I remember getting one letter that was kind of scary. It said that I owed him a bunch of money, and let me tell you something. I don't want to get into it as far as for how scary the IRS is, but to me, the IRS is scary. So I got this letter from him, and I, in a panic, called him on the phone, and he kind of laughed a little bit and said, "Yeah, there's a lot of people been getting those. Don't worry about it." And about 3 weeks, maybe a month or so, I don't know. I don't remember how long ago it was now. I don't remember the duration. But I got a check in the mail for like $3,600. So from the IRS. And so I sent him an email. Hey, well, what's this? And he said, "Remember that letter you got? Those letters were wrong, and it was actually they owed you money." Could not have been a better outcome to that situation than that. As a small businessman, you are constantly bombarded with bills, expenses that you don't know where they came from. You don't know what they're for. Okay, let's get back on track here because I'm getting a little sidetracked. So, what I was talking about was my office being a mess. How I got off on the IRS part of it, I don't even remember. But so the office is a disaster. The office is a disaster. Amy has been after me to clean this place up. Oh yeah, as soon as I get chance. Well, August 1st I retired, and it's really odd. I guess now it's just kind of starting to sink in because I don't have to go to work. I don't have all these jobs lined up. I don't have all these people waiting on me. I don't have all these materials that are ordered. I don't have the constant barrage of agencies that want money. It's really something. I tell you what, it's just kind of sinking in. Anyway, so get back to the office being a mess. What am I doing here? So yesterday, it occurred to me yesterday. Today is August. I think it's the 28th. So I've officially been retired. The 27th, maybe, I don't know. The great thing about being retired, it doesn't really matter, does it? What day it is. Yeah, baby. It suddenly occurred to me that there was all this stuff in the office that I kept handy. I kept tabletop, because I would refer to it regularly. Well, I don't need to refer to it regularly anymore. So yesterday, I started actually cleaning up the office. Now, I would pan the camera and show you what a wonderful job I did cleaning up the office. But I didn't make that big of a dent, okay? Hang on. I didn't make that big of a dent, trust me. I have hard copies of every work order that I ever did. There's thousands of them. I mean, literally, there's thousands of them. And I have a copy of every single one. And I keep them because there's hand notes written on them, and there's explanations of what we did. And if I have to go back, if I have a problem, if I had a problem with a job, then I could go back. I can pull that copy and go look and see exactly what we did. And even if you called me up 5 years later and said, "Hey, I have an issue," the first thing I'm gonna tell you is, "Well, let's just get a look at it." I'm not, some people, you call them on the phone. If they answer, their answer is, "Well, we didn't do that," or "It's been too long." They automatically drop it in your lap. I never did that. Ever. Two reasons. One reason is I'm not only a business owner and a contractor, but I'm a customer, and I'm a customer of every single thing that I buy. If I go to the convenience store, I am a customer. If I go to the restaurant, I'm a customer. If I go to the grocery store, if I go to the lumberyard, if I go to anywhere, I am a customer, and I mentally record how I've been treated and how the service is, and then I choose to do my business where I feel as though the people care enough and want to do business, because that's what I do in my business. Now, we're going to get back to talking about cleaning the office here in just a minute. And but let me, because I've only got about a minute left. I've got to break this into I'm not going to break this into two parts. The 2-part thing has got to stop. I'll just start. I have thought for another video. So as time goes on, I am going to clean the office up. I'm gonna get some of the stuff out of here that doesn't need to be out of here in here anymore, because I don't need it. There's actually 2 desks in here that face each other. When I had an office manager, she would sit over there, and her and I would kind of hide behind our computer screens as we needed to, and then we could look over to the side to talk. She was a freaking wonderful person to have in here. It broke my heart to have to let her go, and we're still friends, thank God. Anyway, let me clean up my office. What a thing to make a video about. I'm going to end this right here and start up another one. So, thank you very much for being here. This is Don with Adventures of the Broken Retired. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you coming in. And we'll see how many clicks it takes to get to the center of turning off the camera.